Dear boomers, hope is independent of the apparatus of logic. I love that quote. That's a quote by Norman Cousins. He was back in the day the editor of the National Review, and he had written numerous books about healing. One was called The Anatomy of an Illness, which I will discuss in a minute. Um, so let's just talk about this quote, because in a world that often demands reasons, evidence, and certainty, hope dares to live outside of the lines. That's so cool. So we will explore why that matters today, especially in our later years when we've seen so much and we've lost so much and still long for something more. So let's journey into the mystery of hope, and not as a wishful thought, but as a deep inner strength that transcends the rational mind. So there are moments in life when logic offers no comfort, a diagnosis and a loss, the sudden shift from what was to what is now. And in those moments, people may say, be realistic. But realism tied to statistics and outcomes can sometimes break the spirit. And logic, for all of its power, cannot measure courage, love, or healing. Take that in. It's so, so, so true. So I spent 40 years as a nurse and nurse practitioner, and I've seen people outlive prognosis, survive heartbreak, and find meaning in suffering. And I have learned when logic hits a wall, hope walks right through it. That's so cool. Um, Hope is not naive. Hope is not blind optimism. Hope is the soul's decision to go on no matter what, to believe there's still more to see and more to give and more to become. It's the whisper that says, try again, rest if you must, but do not quit. And something new is coming. And the more that you elevate your emotions as much as you can through the perils of circumstance, we learn that we do not have to rely on the circumstances and the environment of our lives to be fulfilled. So, Norman Cousins, let's get back to him because my mother was really into Norman Cousins. Uh, he healed himself from a life-threatening illness through laughter, love, and belief in the healing capacity of the body's wisdom. He understood that logic could not explain everything. So Norman Cousins was a popular speaker back in the day, and he was traveling a lot and was exposed to toxic exhaust from airplanes. This is what he said. And this is how he explained why he got an an autoimmune disease that the doctor said he would never recover from. Um, and so he prescribed, he went into the hospital and demanded that they bring in films, little videos of things that made him laugh. Like Candid Camera back in the day was pretty funny. Today, you have to pick your own comedy. I would say for me, it's Friends. I think I laugh at that all the time. And the other night, I was watching something that I laughed. Now, laughter healed him, although he also demanded that they put 10,000 grams of vitamin C through an IV line. And that also helped. The doctor says, well, this might collapse your veins. He goes, well, we'll just find another vein. So he moved out of the hospital and into a hotel room where he laughed for I don't know how long before his illness was cured. And there's some recent research done with diabetics who have done the same thing. They bring in videos that they find to be funny, or they watch videos, say on YouTube, that they think are funny, or they watch shows that they think are funny. And then after they've watched the program and laughed and laughed and laughed, their blood sugars are such that they do not need their after meal or before meal insulin. And this is a tremendous thing that has resurfaced in the age of dire um, diagnoses that we can all laugh, find something to laugh at every day, and you will not be disappointed. Um, Hope still creates a path forward through these diagnoses and through these hopeless scenarios. Um, if you're a boomer or a senior, you've witnessed the world change so much again and again. When I think about my father and my mother's early years, they did not have television. They communicated anyway, somehow. Um, and, they didn't have cars. They walked everywhere and they still managed to survive without cell phones. And so you come to my generation and our generation where we, and when I was a young girl, we did not have television, but then we did. A lot of people did not. And we moved through a lot of technological expansion, including a moon landing and that sort of thing. Um, it was a rapid technological resurgence though that happened with us. With my parents, it was mostly the same stuff, except that they lived their day by day. They were had simple lives, but now things are not quite so simple. So maybe now the world tells you to slow down, or as older people, to fade away and to become invisible. But Hope says there's still music in your soul. Listen to that music because and in the Dear Boomer community, we are creating conversation rooted in the hope. That hope can be a lifeline. We don't need all the answers. We just need to believe that our presence still matters and we can bounce that off of each other in the community. Hope doesn't always explain itself. It doesn't ask for permission. It rises, it moves through our heart, and it lifts others as it lifts us. So we need to realize that all of this heart, we can regenerate the heart through breath, and that brings us hope just in that mere act of meditation. So if you are facing something that defies reason, if you're grieving, if you're struggling or just trying to figure it all out, let hope be your companion because hope is not bound by logic. It lives in the heart. The heart, it is your birthright, and it's never too late to let it guide you. So if you'd like to see one of the videos that show up here, and please subscribe to the channel and take a serious look at the Dear Boomer community. I am refurbishing the site so that it becomes more relevant to what we are all facing. Love to all. Bye-bye.